I love that, like
baseball traffic.
The big story yesterday coming out of the Portland Diamond Project, making their announcement that they're trying to build a stadium.
I don't think that was an announcement.
Well,
that was a leak.
That was a leak.
I don't think they wanted that.
But they released a statement afterwards, you know, when it leaked out there. But
kind of had to.
Just everyone's like, we can't have baseball traffic. Like, it just almost every response I got. Like when I put out that statement, 50 comments and 48 of them are like, well, baseball, but screw traffic, I'll never go. Like that's our mentality here in the city.
Because of where they're putting it?
Yeah, where they're putting it. It's just
traffic. Wouldn't there be traffic everywhere?
There's traffic everywhere.
Where they put it?
I just love that. That's our mentality. If you want to know why our city, I mean, it's one of the reasons is just that defeatist mentality. Someone's trying to build you a privately funded $2 billion infrastructure project, and everyone's reaction is, "Can you imagine the traffic? I'll never go." Yeah, because traffic is so great now, and yet we still go to places. Well, if you put it somewhere that I want Metallica to play in my backyard, but it's not happening. So guess what? I drive and I fly to go see him play. It's just, it's amazing to me, the amount of bitching that we do in this city over things.
Well, that's probably just normal.
It's just what we do.
Anywhere. I think it's what humans do.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like this area opposes more things than most other areas.
I think it's a good question. The question is does that, I mean, I don't want to extrapolate out from just some people on social media or whatever, but I mean, we are the sports guys.
Yeah.
So you would think that at least our audience would be maybe more willing to accept Major League Baseball coming to town.
I was shocked. Like I said,
do you think that the question is do you think that maybe the reaction to the Portland Diamond Project and MLB to Portland over all these years kind of shows that this city really doesn't have that much of an appetite for Major League Baseball?
It's possible. Like I said, I have been shocked over the number of years that this has been going on now at the general negativity around it. I mean, and I get the idea that you're upset that you don't think it's ever going to happen. So that's different. That's different. If you think that this is just Charlie Brown putting the football, in front of him and then Lucy's going to pull it away, I understand that. I really do, because I get it. We get promised a lot and it doesn't deliver. But if someone does put forth a good plan, and yet the idea is you're still pissed that a privately funded stadium is going somewhere, and you're upset about it for a myriad of reasons, the number one seeming to be where it's located at, and it's going to be slightly difficult to get to. Have you ever been to a Timbers game? It's not fun to get down there. It sucks. It's really hard, and there's no parking. It's a challenge to get to. Let's not act like Moda Center is a wonderful in and out. If you go to a Blazer game and you park in the garage, guess what? You got 40 minutes until you get out of it.
Going to sports isn't convenient, period.
It's not. It's just Seattle, right? Go to a Seattle Mariner game sometime. It's a pain in the ass.
Going to a Dr. Beavers game down 2-lane I-5, not always easy. I mean, it gets backed up for miles. But this is going to a sports game.
But this general negativity about the location and, it's not even in Portland. Yes, it is. I get it's on the outskirts of it. But it's still Portland. It's not in Beaverton. And even if it was in Beaverton, would you bitch more or less about that? And then it turns into the other one that I hear a lot about. Oh, it's just a grift. A grift for what? What are they grifting you? Do you really think they're selling hats and shirts to try to pry the $25 out of your wallet? Do you really think that a group is putting, how many tens of millions of dollars have been dumped into this already between architects and land surveys and all that? What grift? I just don't understand this general, anytime you bring it up, just 90% of the comments, like you said, from a sports audience, how negative it is. It blows me away. And yet then we're going to sit there and be like, how come we never get anything? How come we can't get the NFL? How come we can't get Major League Baseball? How come we can't get the NHL? Everything we've had here, the Blazers work. The Blazers work. They've been here forever. We got the Timbers.
I think they should take the Blazers away because of the traffic.
Yeah, it's too much. I can't deal with it. When the Winterhawks and the Blazers have a game together, oh my God, it's a nightmare. And yet somehow I still make it to the Winterhawk games. But the Blazers have always worked here. The Timbers and the Thorns are two of the marquee franchises in their respective leagues. The Timbers are great and one of the best environments this side of LA. The Thorns is the best in the women's soccer league. It's just at some point, can we put our big boy pants on here and accept that it's not perfect? But one of my favorite quotes is, perfect is the greatest enemy of better. And so, yeah, I would rather baseball be at the Lloyd Center too, and it's easier for to get to. But I had someone literally say, well, I'm just disgusted that they're putting profits over fans by putting it where they're at. You want someone to spend $2 billion and then not be able to make their money back because they can't build anything around the Lloyd Center. It's just, I don't know, the last 24 hours and seeing the response to the first, like, actual, I don't know, positive step we've heard about baseball here in 2 years, it stuns me how negative it is. It really does.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. People, it's like a great American pastime.
We just love
people bitching.
We love to bitch.
But, I do think, I'm reading the text as you talk here, and, somebody said, not everyone has that view, just the few loud, crappy people.
I think it's a lot.
Like the vocal minority is driving this narrative. And I think that could be true. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, and you're right about sports here having worked over the years. I mean, it just has.
Yeah.
And baseball, particularly in the summers here, I think it'd be a home run, no pun intended. Yeah. But I do wonder if you collectively took the pulse of this city. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Where, what the sentiment would be towards bringing Major League Baseball here. I don't know if it would be overwhelmingly in favor.
I don't think it is, because what I hear from sports people and non-sports people is all the negatives. And like I always say, this would be such a win for the city. And I can't tell you how many times I hear from sports and non-sports people, why is this a win for the city? It's just another pain in the ass. A win for the city. You mean, again, a $2 billion stadium, probably another $2 billion in development around it, all the construction jobs that go around it, all the housing that's going to be built up around it. And then I hear, well, it's housing that no one can afford. Someone can afford it. There are going to be houses and apartments that build up around that, and restaurants and jobs and everything that goes along with that. Maybe we'll get a mass transit line. Maybe they'll work out a way to max to get out there to 217. There is that could be worked in there too. Stadiums get built all around the country, and 97% of the time, they end up working out. And those are the ones, too, that I think people get screwed out of because they're publicly funded. This isn't even publicly funded. You go down to San Diego a bunch, Rob. Are you telling me that the Gaslamp District isn't
completely revitalized because of that stadium?
Because of the stadium.
Yeah.
Detroit's one of my I love Detroit. Go to Detroit sometime, which that city gets crapped on more than any other, and go see what those stadiums being built in downtown Detroit, and a casino, by the way, actually 2 casinos, have done to downtown Detroit. Downtown Detroit is one of the nicest downtown areas in America, and it was one of the worst. And what changed it? Stadiums.
San Francisco's Union Square area is awful now, but when they built the ballpark down there, the south of Market area got totally cleaned.
Yeah, Lodo down in Denver is a phenomenal place to go down.
Mission Bay, where the Warriors just opened Chase Center, super nice now. Restaurants, bringing people down there.
So when people say, why is this a win for the city? Even if you're not a fan of sports and baseball at all, why would anyone be against billions of dollars being put and taking an area where there's nothing going on right now besides a crappy goose poop covered golf course? And by the way,
well, can I say that Beaverton's pretty busy though? Like, I think Beaverton's just as busy as Portland. You ever drive out there?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's already busy. Yeah. Like, so in other words, this idea of like, this is not what we want because it's going to be so much busier. I don't think it is. It's already busy. There's a lot of people out there.
Yes.
A lot of people driving around. 217 is like one of the worst places to drive in the city.
It stinks.
So are you going to make it that much worse? I know they're expanding it right now. There's a construction project going on over there, but
hopefully by the time the stadium were to come in, the expansion would be done. And like I said, maybe we throw a max line in there. And
you'd have to add some sort of light rail option to
maybe some boats.
You've got to do something.
Here's a text. It says, of course, the greater us wants baseball. Complaining is a defense mechanism to bitch because we know that we'll most likely not get the nice thing. That's true.
That again, I get. But anyone asking, how is this a win for the city? Pull your head out of your ass. Just pull it out and go look at any other place in the country where they've put up a stadium and see if it's a win for that city. And again, this isn't where they're robbing us of our money. That I'm against. When the city's like, well, we're going to give a billionaire $1 billion to build a stadium. That's not happening here. The negative response to it, as you can tell, I'm as frustrated with this as I am with the Dan Campbell and the Todd Monken game plans.
Yeah, I can tell.
These three things are going to haunt me.
That rant has cut into Dave Canales porn talk.
Ah, damn it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Let's get to some porn.
What?